Okay, so today I am doing my latest weekly vlog since the one I did from the 13th to the 26th of May. Given that I did my May monthly wrap after that and did cover those books I read at the end of the month, this weekly vlog is going to cover 2 weeks, but it's going to cover from the 1st of June. In fact, it's more than 2 weeks. We have a lot to talk about. So this is going to cover more than 2 weeks, or just over 2 weeks, from the 1st to the 16th of June 2024. That was a mouthful to say. There's a lot to say. In my last weekly vlog update, we spoke about how I had COVID and how I was dealing with that. So I have updates on that, as well as a lot of TV and viewing updates, watching updates, and reading updates as well. So let's jump right on in. First of all, actually, just a very quick intro. The reason why I decided to do a 2-week vlog, 2 weeks in one, I don't know, everyone has different words for this all around the world, but 2 weeks together in Australia we call a fortnight. But I've said fortnight before and had other people say to me they didn't know what that meant, so that's fine. So we'll call it a 2-week weekly vlog. See, it's confusing when you use the word week. But 2 weeks in one weekly vlog is because when I got through the first week of June, I still had not finished a book. I was reading a very long book, which we'll talk about soon enough. So I figured I might as well just wait until, the end of the next week. And here we are. All right, for those of you who are new to my weekly vlogs, I divide them into 3 sections. The first is a life update. The second is a watching update. The third is a reading update. So in the first one, I talk about life, what's going on, general update for all of you. In the second section, I talk about what I've been watching, be that, TV shows, movies. I've actually been playing a game recently, so I'll talk about that a bit too. And then we go into the reading vlog section where I talk about what I've been reading. So let's jump right in, starting off with the life update. So the last time that we all spoke, I was discussing with all of you how I had COVID and things were just, I was doing my best to stay my bright, happy, bubbly self, which wasn't easy to do, but I was doing everything I could to get through it. Now, I don't know if I announced... No, I wouldn't have, sorry. Just had to think there. So I have some good news, everyone. I am officially COVID-free now. I have tested negative. I'm very thankful to have tested negative and to be out of the woods as far as the majority of what I experienced. However, up until 2 days ago, I was big time still dealing with lethargy and being extremely exhausted and, not being able to do a lot. And anytime I would do something, I would immediately get tired. And that was very tough for me because I'm someone who likes to plan out my day. If, at the moment I'm in between jobs, because for those of you who weren't aware, if you're new, hello and welcome. About a month and a half ago, everyone who worked in my position was retrenched. We were made redundant. So now I'm looking for another job. Because I am between jobs, I still want my days to be productive. So it's been hard on me mentally dealing with the lethargy side of the aftermath of COVID, despite the COVID, despite the fact that I had tested negative and was so thankful to no longer have COVID. To still deal with that lethargy was very tough. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not still dealing with it now, because I am, but the past 2 days, yesterday Saturday, today Sunday, yesterday Saturday the 15th of June, today Sunday the 16th of June, because there's a delay on the video, so now you know that I'm filming this, recording it. I am doing a lot better, and I have been able to be a lot more productive. To give you an example, yesterday, on Saturday, I actually went for a walk for about half an hour. I came home absolutely exhausted, and went and laid down right away. And then got up not too much later and just, did some little things here and there, which was very promising. And then today I, did a number of different things as well. And so, yeah, I'm starting to feel better than I was. Don't know if I'm completely out of the woods with the lethargy, but if it was affecting me on a scale of, say, 10 out of 10, the worst that it could be, I'm probably now at about a 5 out of 10. But ask me tomorrow, ask me after Monday how I'm doing, and we'll see how all that goes. Other than that, not really a lot to update you all on as far as a life update is concerned. As I mentioned earlier, for those who didn't know, for those who did, sorry to rehash it again, but yeah, I was retrenched, made redundant from my job. Not just me, but everyone who did the specific job I did for the company I worked for. We were all let go, and it was a very big shock to all of us. I certainly didn't think that I'd be out of work, but things happen. Life throws curveballs, and the best thing that we can do is make that lemonade out of those proverbial lemons. As I like to say, when a door is closed, somewhere a window will open. And so I'm trying to still be positive on that front, given that I now have the freedom to search for another job and start a new journey. I always love starting new journeys. How about you? Let me know if you like starting new journeys. Obviously, it's tough when we go through changes, but after a while, after things kind of settle a bit, which they kind of have for me now, starting a new journey. All right, let's jump in and talk about watching. Okay, so last we checked in, I was finishing off Vampire Academy. Wow, that was a long time ago, because I definitely finished it. That is Vampire Academy, the TV series. It only lasted one season. I've read the canonical works, the books, and had an amazing experience overall with them. I watched the first adaptation, which was the movie, which was horrible, and then finally decided to watch this TV series. It took me a while to finally watch it, admittedly, but that was because of how let down I was with the film, because of how much I liked the books. I was really let down by the film adaptation. But all in all, I thought that and adding to that, there was only one season made of Vampire Academy, the TV series, before it was cancelled. And so commenting on that one season and having completed it now, all in all, I actually much preferred the TV series. I wish that it had continued. I don't know what it is with me, and let me know if you feel the same way, but when it comes to a lot of paranormal or fantasy type shows, specifically paranormal or shows that include magic that I love, they don't seem to last long. And when it comes to ones that I don't love, they seem to last a very long time, and I don't know what's going on. I am still harboring a grudge that I believe it was ABC Family, that's how long ago it was, cancelled The Witches of East End. I am still upset about that. They need to bring it back. Bring back the Beauchamp family. But anyway, and let's not talk about the Charmed reboot, because Miss Francy would have nothing nice to say. So as the saying goes, if you have nothing nice to say nothing at all. So yeah, all in all, I actually did like this show, and given that there are other shows that have gone on to do more than one season that I didn't necessarily appreciate, I do wish that Vampire Academy had been allowed to come back for a second season and see how things are progressed from there. But it was what it was. It was what it was. Overall, I'm giving it a total rating of 8 out of 10 for a score of 80%. I thought it was a great series, given it was only one season. There was a lot packed into the season. Okay, so then my plan was to watch Alice in Borderland Season 1. I did that, and I really enjoyed it. If you love Asian thriller dystopians with games in them that are live action, you need to watch Alice in Borderland. It is so good. I have so many, not so many actually, I want more recommendations, but if you know of Asian thrillers or dystopians that have games in them, that are scripted, that have games in them, let me know, because oh my gosh, I'm just lapping all of them up. I love the live action of Gurui. I love the live action of Liar Game. I love Squid Game. That's where it all started with me. I decided to watch this show called Squid Game that not a lot of people knew when it first came out, thinking, oh gosh, people are talking about it, but is it about a squid? And then realized, oh my gosh, I love Asian game type shows. They're fantastic. And so, yeah, all these other ones. But anyway, I had seen season 1 of Alice in Borderland, but it took a little while, as you expect, for the second season to come out. And by the time it had come out, I had totally forgotten about the show. So I went back, I rewatched season 1. There were certain things I remember, certain things that I didn't. But all in all, I not only enjoyed it, I enjoyed season 1 so much. I'm giving it a rating of 10 out of 10 right now, 100%. It was so enticingly good. But not only did I enjoy it, but I enjoyed it to the point that after watching season 1, I planned to go back to Seventh Heaven and start Seventh Heaven season 2. That didn't quite happen. Instead, I went straight on to Alice in Borderland season 2 because I just couldn't stop. And I did like the second season, although I did have some complaints here and there about the second season. There were a whole lot more games that were played in the first season compared to the second, and there were more dystopian aspects. It's tough to say because the whole thing is a dystopian anyway, but to be specific, there's the dystopian stuff that goes on outside of the games, and then there are the dystopian games themselves. There were a ton of the dystopian games that were played in season 1. In season 2, there weren't a lot, and the reason for that is because you're trying to collect a deck of cards, and in season 1, you're going for the cards that are of every suit from ace through to 10. In season 2, you're going for the face cards, Jack, Queen, and King, and obviously there are significantly less face cards than there are number and ace cards. Well, got through season 2, as I say, did not like the dystopian stuff because it was just a bit much, and I mean, like, it took too much out of the season, too much time to get through. I wanted to see more games, but the way it ended was interesting, given that apparently they weren't going to do a third season, and then they decided, okay, they're now going to do it, and the way it ended in a way like they always intended to do a third season. Well, anyway, apparently it's taken like 2 years for them to finally be getting close to premiering the third season, and I am definitely going to watch it. I just hope I remember to watch it, honestly, because as I say, I didn't remember to watch season 2, but I won't spoil anything. I'll just say there was the climax that happens at the end of season 2. I loved that massive climax. After that climax, something happens. There's like an what's the word that I'm after? An epilogue, if you will. I didn't necessarily like what happened in the epilogue. There were certain things, again, I'm trying to keep spoiler free, didn't necessarily like what they were doing with the epilogue. But right at the end of the epilogue, literally the last 5 seconds of the final episode, something happened that made me go, yep, I need to watch season 3. So I am still excited for season 3. So I'm going to give season 1 10 out of 10 for Alice in Borderland, and season 2 for Alice in Borderland, I'm going to give it a 7.5, because there was just not enough of the games, and the dystopian non-game side took over way too much that I need to take that out on the rating. So a 7 or 7.5 out of 10 for season 2, which is still a good rating, just not as good as season 1. Okay, so after I got through Alice in Borderland, I did go back to Seventh Heaven. I'm trying to match up the number of the episode in the season I'm watching to the date that we're on in the calendar month, if that makes sense. So let's just say it is the 4th of June, and I'm watching season 2 of Seventh Heaven. Then I'm hoping on the 4th of June to watch season 2, episode 4, and then on the 5th of June to watch season 2, episode 5. Well, I am behind from where I want to be, but I have certainly started Seventh Heaven. I'm going to tell you specifically where I'm up to. I've finished episode 11, so I'm literally just at the halfway mark now. There's 22 episodes, and I should be watching episode 16 tonight. So after tonight, if I don't watch any tonight, I'll be 6 episodes behind. But I've come from behind before with Seventh Heaven, and I do find ways to catch up where I just have a bit of a binge and maybe watch 3 episodes in a row or whatever while I'm relaxing or whatever. So I don't think that's going to be too much of a concern. So, is there anything else that I need to mention? Let's have a quick look. Oh, Drag Race. Okay. RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars Season 9. I'm up to date with the latest episode, which I need to check what that episode was. I'm glad I checked because I hadn't updated it on the Discord server, but I have now. So I'm up to RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars Season 9. I have watched episode 6, so I am literally up to date. Episode 6 came out Friday, my time, and I watched it yesterday. So there you go. Last time we checked in, I was saying that it's, that it was, like, I didn't even have words, I just had noises for Drag Race, for RuPaul's Drag Race All-Star Season 9, like, it's an season. Now I'm kind of getting into it a bit more, but it's just when you do the twist that they've done with this season, which unlike in a scripted show, a twist being a spoiler, it's not a spoiler for this season. It's been heavily promoted. The twist being the theme of this season. So I'm not telling you any results. I'm just telling you the theme. The theme is that the queens aren't competing for themselves. They are competing for charity, which is nice. Don't get me wrong. I think that's absolutely wonderful. I just don't think it fits the Drag Race mold. If they were to do this as like a once-off special thing, then that would be fine. But to make an all-stars season where they're playing for charity when they've never done that before completely breaks the mold of all-stars. And while it is good to keep things fresh and, do different things, here and there to entice your audience, I have a great saying, which is, it's not my saying, but a saying that I adhere to, which is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And they've been toying with all-stars for the last goodness knows how many seasons now. It was great. I mean, season 1 of All Stars wasn't the best, but they learned from that. From season 2 onwards, it was fantastic. Then they just started stuffing it up. There are other words I can use, but I won't. Stuffing it up. But anyway, look, it's fine. I do like the cast. I was not necessarily surprised to see Georges back, and I'm enjoying seeing Georges. I was very surprised to see Plastique Tiara come back, but have really enjoyed watching Plastique this season. One thing that surprised me is that Roxy Andrews, who is back for her 3rd go on Drag Race, which, bless, I think the only other person who's done 3, other queen that's done 3 is Shangela Laquifa Wadley. But anyway, but Roxy has all of this confidence, which I don't quite understand, because she, without saying where she placed, in her initial season, season 5, she did well. Don't get me wrong. In her first All-Star season, Roxy didn't do well, in my opinion. And, you can debate me on that. That's absolutely fine. But I don't think she did well at all. And I would have thought she would have come in lacking confidence. But no, she came in overconfident into this season. So it'd be interesting to see how things do play out. We'll move on now from TV, but quickly moving forward, the plan until we next talk, which may be next week. Well, actually it will be next week because the week after will be my monthly wrap. But next week is to, of course, focus on Seventh Heaven. If we are checking in on the 23rd of June, then I would have just finished Seventh Heaven if I stick to my plan, because there's 22 episodes, and as I said, I want to have the same episode and date aligning to where I'm up to. So on the 22nd of June, the night before, I should have finished the season finale of season 2 of Seventh Heaven, and then my plan on the 23rd will be to start watching a show that I watched a very long time ago, and for some reason I'm just in the mood for it now, and that is the fabulous show that competed with Charmed, and I don't know why, because of how much I loved Charmed, but I've watched Charmed so much that I need a break from it because I could probably quote every word in Charmed. But that show is, the one I'm going to watch is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I'm really looking forward to getting into it. I'm not going to watch the movie. I'm starting from season 1 of the TV show, and I'll see how I go if I want to watch Angel as well. I love David Boreanaz's character of Angel, so I may also watch Angel as well. But yeah, really intrigued to get back into Buffy, and that will start the night that I do my next vlog. All right, let's talk reading. Now, as I was saying earlier, the reason why I'm covering 2 weeks in this vlog is because I hadn't even finished one book by the time I got to the end of week 1. I have now, after 2 weeks, finished 2 books, but that is because they were both very long books. Okay, so the first book that I read in the month of June was this book, Heartless Sky, which is book number 7 in the Zodiac Academy series. And when I say it is long, I don't believe this is actually correct. Oh yeah, it's the wrong edition. I'm looking at Goodreads, and Goodreads says it's 1,014 pages, but not my edition, it wasn't. I think it was something like 760, 780 pages. It was a long book. I mean, it's been a while since I've read really long fantasies, so I'm kind of, and when I'm not reading really long fantasies, but instead reading cozy mysteries, which are like half to a third of the length of a fantasy, it seems like a very long read, and I prefer to not necessarily read shorter books, but I don't want to spend too long reading one book because I love reading a plethora of different books and genres and age ratings. So this book took me a little longer to get through than I certainly would have liked, but I do need to factor in my lethargy with, dealing with that as well and being tired and everything. But very quickly, I'll give you the premise and thoughts of this one. So the premise is given in a perspective, and that perspective says the winds of fate are shifting, and it finally seems like they've been twisted in our favor. On the run and cast out from society, we've been forced to hide from the madman who stole our throne. But as more secrets come to light, and my sister and I work harder than ever before to reach our potential and claim our birthright, the end is finally drawing closer. There is no turning from this path now. The curse chases on our heels. Wow. As time rushes by and the blood-drenched destiny of the man I love looms ever closer, just like the monster who stole our throne. Okay, now we'll talk about my thoughts. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so another amazing Zodiac Academy book with a cliffhanger to stop hearts. Oh my goodness. I mean, there are cliffhangers in every single freaking book in this series. If you can't tell how passionate I am by this series, that's some sort of an indication that in every freaking book in this series, there is a cliffhanger that's wow. And this one was no exception. I have come to expect there to be cliffhangers and to be shocked, but I'm more shocked than I expect, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens moving forward. How are Caroline Peckham and Susan Valenti going to deal with the way that this book wrapped up in the next one? Are they going to find a quick fix, or are we going to move forward after this cliffhanger thing happened? Again, try not to give away spoilers, especially since it is book 7. Now, I want to clarify something very quickly with this series, because I remember some of you asking me about it with regards to my last vlog where I spoke about Zodiac Academy. So, certain sites say that there are 12 books in the Zodiac Academy series. I want to be technical so that everyone understands the way that I'm referring to the books. There are technically 12 books currently out in this series. 9 of them are main books, and 3 of them are novellas. Because I am used to, like with cozy mysteries that have novellas, saying the novella is a 0.5, I say that there are 9 books and 3 novellas. I do it that way. So book 7, in this case, would be Heartless Sky, and then there's a book 8.5 or something, I think, coming up at some point soon. I'll just double check that. Where am I? Yep. So there's a book 0.5, a book 8.5, and that may be it. Oh, actually, there might be something else that I'm missing. Let me check. Yeah, just want to make a point here because I usually focus on what Goodreads says, and even Goodreads are saying 9 primary works. So yeah, there's a 0.5 and the 1.5, which I keep forgetting about because in book 1, we follow the perspective of the twin girls in The Awakening, and in book 1.5, it's the same storyline, but we follow the perspective of the boys, so that's what I forgot. So you got your 9 main books so far, plus 0.5, plus 1.5, which is a long book. It's not a novella, but it's called 1.5, and then the 8.5. And then there's a 5.5. I don't even know. We're just going to move right along. What did I give this book? I think I gave it 5 stars like I did with everything else. Oh, I didn't even finish my thoughts. We're doing well, aren't we? Okay, another amazing Zodiac Academy book with a cliffhanger to stop hearts, as I said. I love that we got to explore a little more between Seth and Caleb, and Xavier really grows in the book too, and I'm loving his bond with Tyler. The ending, though, Caroline Peckham and Susan Valenti, I bow at your feet and cannot wait for more, and I gave it 5 stars. The second book that I finished, I only just finished today, so I literally only just finished 2 books in 2 weeks, or over 2 weeks, and that is a reread for me, this book, Boyfriend Material by Alexis Hall, which is book 1 in the London Calling trilogy. It is a reread for me because on, I didn't even know when. But anyway, 2 years and 3 months ago, I read this book for the first time and it was a standalone. Since then, it's now become a trilogy. So I decided to go back and reread book 1, given it has been over 2 years. And back 2 years and 3 months ago, I gave the book 4.5 stars, and I'm doing the same today for my reread, but for different reasons. So very quickly, the premise of this book is when tangentially and reluctantly famous Luke O'Donnell is forced back into the spotlight in the worst possible way, he has to think fast if he wants to save his floundering reputation. Enter Oliver Blackwood, stunningly handsome and effortlessly put together. Oliver is successful, an ethical vegetarian, and has never appeared in a scandal magazine even once. In other words, he's the perfect boyfriend material and exactly what Luke needs to appear respectable again. But when their fake relationship starts to feel like romance, Luke and Oliver might have to consider whether they're willing to fight for the truth of their new relationship scandal and consequences be damned. So I'm going to very quickly give you my thoughts. In my initial read, as I say, I gave the book 5 stars, but for a very different reason. I back then had an issue with the romance genre breakup trope, and docked 0.5 stars for that in this book. However, in 2024, I'm docking the 0.5 stars for another reason. Much as I love Luke as a character, I did then, and I still do. I really love Luke as a character. There were moments with things he said or did that just seemed really odd and out of nowhere. But this is only worth the most minimal deduction I can give, 0.5 stars. I still love Oliver and Luke. I still don't get why they broke up, but I dealt with it better knowing it was going to happen. The humour is still off the charts, and I cannot wait to read book 2 next month, and I gave that one 4.5 stars. Let's quickly look into what I'm reading next week, because we're running out of time here, so quick. Okay, next week I'm going to be hoping to get through 3 books. The first being Lethal Lobster, which is book number 3 in the... got it right here, Cruise Ship Mystery Series. Then after that, I'm going to read book 4 in that same series, Deadly Deception. And then after that, I'm planning to read Practice Makes Perfect, which is book number 3 in the Housemates series by Jay Noel, the Cruise Ship Mystery Series by Hope Callahan, Cozy Mysteries. The Housemates book, Practice Makes Perfect, is an LGBTIQ+, adult LGBTIQ+. Alright everyone, we've gotten through this update. It's 2 weeks, that's why it was longer, but hopefully we'll be back again next week for just 1 week. And I will see you all then. I hope you're having an amazing month so far. We're over halfway. What's the favorite thing you've read or watched or life update you have to share? Let us all know in the comments below. But in the meantime, I'm going to let you all go with peace, blessings, and so much love. Please do be kind and love one another and spread your sparkling energy all throughout the world. And until next time, happy reading. Bye, everyone.